One night changed everything. A secret meeting in an abandoned part of the school grounds. What started as a simple gathering transformed into something Zara could never have imagined. Inappropriate interactions, forbidden relationships, complete disregard for personal boundaries and school rules. Zara found herself trapped, too afraid to speak out, too involved to walk away. This is the story of Zara, a young girl 14 years of age, how she went to an all-girls boarding school and was heavily engaged in immoral activities with other girls. Watch and see how this whole story played out. The morning of her departure from home was bathed in a bittersweet light. Sunrise painted the walls of the Adebayo family home with warm oranges and soft yellows, a stark contrast to the turmoil brewing in Zara's heart. Mrs. Adebayo moved with purposeful precision, checking and rechecking Zara's packed belongings. Each item was a carefully selected promise of a bright future. Crisp uniforms pressed and folded, new textbooks stacked neatly, a small photo album tucked away as a reminder of home. Harmony Girls College is more than just a school, her mother explained, her voice a mix of pride and hope. It's an opportunity to become the woman you're meant to be. Mr. Adebayo stood by the window, his silhouette strong and steady. A local teacher respected throughout their small community. He understood the power of education. "Remember," he said, turning to face his daughter, "your character is your most valuable possession. No achievement is worth compromising who you are." Zara nodded, her 14-year-old self a mixture of excitement and apprehension. The weight of her family's expectations pressed down on her shoulders, a burden both heavy and precious. The bus ride was a journey of transformation. Rural landscapes gave way to more urban scenes, each mile taking Zara further from the familiar comfort of home. Young girls around her chatted excitedly, sharing dreams and expectations. Some spoke of becoming doctors, lawyers, engineers. Others talked about the freedom of boarding school, a world away from parental supervision. Zara listened, her notebook clutched close, filled with her own carefully written goals and aspirations. Harmony Girls College was nothing short of magnificent. Imposing iron gates opened to reveal a campus that seemed more like a small city than a school. Pristine buildings rose against the sky, surrounded by meticulously maintained gardens. Tall trees stood like ancient guardians, their branches creating a natural canopy. Senior students moved with an air of confidence, their white and blue uniforms crisp and immaculate. Everything spoke of discipline, tradition, and high expectations. Maya, a senior student assigned to help new arrivals, approached Zara with a smile that didn't quite reach her eyes. "Welcome to Sapphire House," she said, her voice smooth and calculated. "Here, you'll learn more than just what's in your textbooks." Those words would become a haunting prophecy. In the first few months, Zara was the epitome of academic excellence. Her days were a carefully structured routine of study, extra classes, and quiet observation. While other girls formed quick friendships, shared secrets, and navigated the complex social landscape of boarding school, Zara remained focused. Her dormitory room was a sanctuary of order, books meticulously arranged, notes color-coded, a small shrine to academic ambition. Teachers praised her diligence. Her dormitory mistress held her up as an example of the ideal student. But excellence can be a lonely path. Amina was different from anyone Zara had met before. Beautiful, confident, with a presence that seemed to command attention without effort. Where other students tried to be noticed, Amina simply existed, and the world adjusted around her. "Why are you always alone?" she asked Zara one evening, her approach both casual and deliberate. Zara, taken aback, mumbled something about focusing on her studies. Amina's laugh was musical, dangerous. "There's more to life than books, little one. Let me show you what real friendship looks like. The group Amina introduced was nothing like Zara expected. They weren't rebels in the traditional sense. They were smart, strategic, understanding the unwritten rules of power within the school's social ecosystem. Late-night conversations became their ritual. Shared snacks, whispered secrets, a world that existed beyond the strict school regulations. They spoke about a special sisterhood, a bond that transcended ordinary friendships. Contraband items became their currency of rebellion. Smuggled phones, banned novels, makeup applied in secret bathrooms. Each small act of defiance felt like a bonding experience. Zara's first mistake was small. A borrowed phone to call home when she missed her family. Then another rule broken, staying up past midnight, sharing a forbidden chocolate bar. "We look out for each other," Amina would say, her words a seductive promise of protection and understanding. The school rules are just another form of control. We're different. With each small compromise, Zara drifted further from her true self. The group's activities became more complex. They weren't just breaking small rules, they were manipulating the entire school's social structure. Rumors spread like wildfire. Reputations were built and destroyed with calculated precision. Blackmail became a tool, subtle intimidation their weapon of choice. They understood power, not through physical strength, but through information, secrets, and psychological manipulation. Zara watched, initially horrified, then gradually desensitized. The line between right and wrong began to blur. One night changed everything. A secret meeting in an abandoned part of the school grounds. What started as a simple gathering transformed into something Zara could never have imagined. Inappropriate interactions, forbidden relationships, complete disregard for personal boundaries and school rules. Zara found herself trapped, too afraid to speak out, too involved to walk away. Miss Okonkwo, the stern dormitory mistress, was a veteran of school administration. Years of experience had sharpened her instincts to a razor's edge. One unexpected inspection revealed everything. The principal's office became a battlefield of accusations, tears, and shattered dreams. Zara watched her future crumble in moments. Expulsion was just the beginning. The real punishment came from family, community, lost opportunities. Zara's father's disappointment cut deeper than any school punishment. "We gave you everything," he said, his voice breaking. "And this is how you repay our trust?" In the months that followed, Zara learned her most important lessons. True friendship doesn't pressure. Real belonging doesn't require you to compromise your integrity. She began to understand that the temporary thrill of fitting in was never worth the long-term cost of losing herself. To every teenager watching, your worth is not determined by a group's acceptance. Your character, your dreams, your integrity, these are what truly matter. Stay true to yourself even when it's hard, because the price of false belonging is always too high. Share this story. Tag a friend who needs to hear this message. Follow your own path, not someone else's idea of who you should be. Please comment the lessons you learned from this story, and do subscribe to AfriTale for more interesting stories. If you loved this story, then you should watch the next video on your screen. Bye for now.